here for you to sit and watch me win again and win again and win again. I know it's probably getting on me and when I'm sitting into this, I ever win again. There's no I did the minimum, I didn't have to somersault. Please don't play no games with me. It was never about the fame to me.
Long time no see.
Yeah, bueno.
Are we gonna do it in Spanish? We're doing the first episode in Spanish.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it'll stop right there.
I like it.
Now we're gonna have another quarterback controversy brewing.
I mean, he just starting to practice, but
yeah,
I don't think they're just gonna put him right away in the mix to play.
Sure. But as long as he's breathing air on the practice field, it's just gonna be in everybody's heads. Like
he's gonna be here next year, so
yeah,
you know that 18 million cap figure that they picked up the 5th-year option of the rookie deal. He's gonna be around, and to be honest, I have no problem with rolling with these 3 quarterbacks that they have right now.
Right. Going into training camp
next year, but just rebuild your offensive line. That's all I'm asking, right? So, because, you know, spending draft picks, high draft picks, the Panthers, they just have 1 pick in the
first
top
round.
100. I mean, I know people, they want to draft a franchise quarterback. And absolutely, there's no, like, future quarterback project right now, but they just can't spend their only pick in a quarterback with that offensive line right now.
Yeah, I'm always on the side of not drafting a quarterback and trying to do a project because too often they flame out.
Yeah.
That's just not the way I would go about it. I really think that the best way to get a quarterback is to get somebody who's on his 2nd contract, you know, a veteran that you might be able to develop because maybe he was underdeveloped or underutilized at, you know, his previous team.
Like Sam?
Well, Sam, but somebody who's had a better track record.
I'm cool. Obviously, quarterback is a premier position in the NFL, and they're always going to draft quarterbacks in the 1st round.
Yeah.
But not all teams should draft quarterbacks in the 1st round.
Yeah.
I mean, they all need them probably, but you just got to first establish a good overall team and then put on a rookie in your offense and let's see what happens. You know, smart teams like, you know, the Chiefs were already a playoff team when they drafted Pat Mahomes and they set him down for a season.
Right.
San Francisco is doing the same with Trey Lance. They're already a playoff caliber overall team.
Right.
And the New England Patriots as well with Mac Jones. That's when rookie quarterbacks look good. But now that they fire Urban Meyer, right? The Jaguars picked Trevor Lawrence in the 1st pick overall, and he was probably the best prospect since Andrew Luck at the position.
Right.
And he's looking bad because he's in a bad team. That's my point on they're going to always draft quarterbacks in the 1st round, but how you draft it and how your team is prepared to draft those young guys is what needs to be changed.
Yeah.
And I think that is the same situation for Carolina. Maybe they can draft a quarterback for 2023, maybe.
Yeah, but as far as next year, though, they're still in a pickle because you got 3 guys, but none of those guys are like guys that are going to break it open for you next year. It's not going to be Cam. You know, obviously Cam still has a lot of life left.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you see what's going on right now. Now, some of that's due to the offensive line, but a lot of it is due to the fact that, you know, these guys are past their primes. Well, actually, Cam, I would say, is past his prime where he can be as effective as he was, you know, 5-6 seasons ago.
Yeah, we can agree on that.
And I'm not trashing Cam. I'm just saying that if they're going to rebuild the rest of the team going into the future, they got to do the same thing at the quarterback position.
But I don't think they can do it at the same time in all positions. With the draft capital they have.
Right. But they've already got the defense, you know, fairly solid.
No, the defense, it's another conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, we can agree that the defense has taken steps forward, but just trying to evaluate properly the quarterback position and the offensive line unit is just something that they haven't been doing the last couple of years. And it's just not this coaching staff or this front office since forever. I mean, the last time they drafted an offensive lineman in the first round was 2008, and it was Jeff Oda. And the highest draft pick they spent when Cam was in his prime was Trey Turner.
Right.
And then a bunch of undrafted guys, and spend big money on Matt Khalil and those things. But they just have to commit to create a better offensive line, and you can kill two birds with one stone, because it will help Christian McCaffrey, hopefully get him more time in the field, and then you protect your quarterback.
Well, see, that's my other thing. I'm really up for them moving Christian McCaffrey because of what they can get for him.
Yeah, and what if Christian is healthy and he's killing the league in somewhere else team? So
yeah, I mean, especially.
It's a possibility, but I don't.
Well, especially
you still have
with
Chuba.
the O-line. Yeah, I mean, Chuba's great. Chuba's a great, downhill rusher, and then you've got Amir Abdullah. He can get out in space and make moves. Whereas Chuba Hubbard, he's more of, in my opinion, like the north-south guy.
Right.
And
my point is that if Christian gets injured again next year, you still have Chuba. But I mean, just trading, honestly, your best player just because he's getting injured the last couple of years, it could be tricky for you. It could be worse. I mean, if you want to get some assets and rebuild your offensive line, you can trade down. You can trade back the first pick that you have in the first round next year. You can trade back. Maybe you can pick 2 offensive linemen and sign 2 offensive linemen in the offseason in the free agency, and then you have a better offensive line without getting rid of Christian. The thing is that if you trade Christian,
you just want to do everything you can to keep Christian.
To keep the core, just to keep the core of the team.
Yeah,
because I don't think it's fair.
I
don't think it's fair just to say, "Oh, he's injured. Yeah, let's get rid of him."
Yeah, but how many games in the last?
I mean, you're still paying him. If you trade him, you're gonna have a lot of dead money. Just keep him in the roster, and if he's not playing again,
but he's
have
not.
Chuba Hubbard.
He hasn't played. He hasn't been playing. He hasn't been healthy.
Yeah,
and I don't think that changes very much going into the future, because that's how running backs are. They get at that certain stage of their career, and then it's just one thing after another, after another, after another. And I mean, obviously, it's nobody's fault. It's just nature. That's the nature of the game, is that at that position, you get beat up a lot, you're going to get injured a lot more. And as your body gets older and it can't sustain those, type of hits like they did when you first came into the league, that's just where it's going to be. So I think right now you get Christian healthy, and then you get him off the plate, because like I said, you can trade and get a lot for Christian McCaffrey, because there's some teams out there that are still willing to take that chance on what he can do for them.
Right, but my point is that I would never trade a player just because he's getting injured.
Well, it's not just because he's getting injured. It's because you do have pieces like Abdullah and Hubbard that you can still work with, right? And then you can bring in some other guys that are a lot less money, right? Still young. There's so many other options that you can take at the running back position that I think that they
But you already have those options in your roster.
Right. So if you
why not keeping him and hopeful that he's getting healthy again?
Yeah, but why do you keep hoping? And he's shown you, like, this is like the second big
it's the second year
thing, right? So I mean, how many times you gotta see that break down before you say, you know what?
Because my point is that if he's healthy next year,
sure,
and suddenly you trade him and he's playing, let's say, for the Bills, and he's playing great, what would you say? And you have the dead money in your salary cap as well.
But you always take that chance in football. Oh my God, come on. Really?
Yeah, that's my point. You need to take a chance. Not like this guy.
See, I took a chance, I changed lanes, and look at this mess. Like, how?
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Smart guy. Smart guy. I'm seeing a lot of people panicking, and I get it. Losing is painful, and nobody wants to see the team losing. But it's just, you don't take decisions in the NFL just like that and with a hot head.
But the Christian McCaffrey wouldn't be just a knee-jerk reaction. I mean, like I said, it's been 2 seasons brewing, and now it's something that I think they need to address. Just, this is like our first fight.
Nah, it's not a fight. It's just,
no.
And with a lot of people just saying that they need to fire Coach Rhule and those things.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
The process is struggling. I know they're not winning, but I don't think it's fair when they criticize Coach Rhule because of the bad offense and not having a franchise quarterback and not having offensive line. But suddenly, when we talk about the good things and we talk about the defense and some pieces in the defense, it's not because of Coach Rhule. It's because of Phil Snow and Scott Feeder, and that's not fair to Coach Rhule.
But I think what they're saying, though, is with regard to Matt Rhule, is he picked these guys.
Oh, he picked Phil Snow.
Right, but what I'm saying on the
offense, he was
offense,
not giving credit to Coach Rhule about that. So
yeah, but he was the one that engineered all those guys being there on the offense. So when they're failing, I mean, it kind of is his, that's his deal. You got to kind of live and die with, all your picks, not just the ones that work.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But sometimes people, they don't see that. They just see the bad things, and they point to Coach Rhule for the bad things, and they don't give him credit for some of the good things. I haven't heard anyone say that thanks for Coach Rhule for, helping get Hassan ready here because they were together at Temple.
I said that.
Well, I know. I trust you. But no one's saying that.
I do like the program. I do like the process. And like he said, I think it'll work. But I do like the rhythm. Like, I feel like there's a new rhythm on the offense with Jeff Nixon now calling the plays. And you could see it even after just 1 week.
Yeah.
And then you heard Robbie Anderson talking about how, he just felt over-prepared, and he said it. It was the first time this year that he felt like that, that was huge. I don't think people caught that, but that was huge for him to say that. So apparently Nixon has something that, I don't know what it is. Maybe he's got, some magic stick or something like 50 Cent. Or,
There's no magic in the NFL.
But, he's connecting with the guys, it seems like, in ways that, that hadn't happened before. But that could all come down to just personality. But whatever it is, I think it's working. Just wish it would have, possibly happened a little sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Before Joe Brady lost his job, because sometimes you can, how it is in any workplace, you can tend to get isolated. People tend to get isolated, and I think maybe some of that happened. But I'm really glad to see it, and I'm anxious to see what they do against the Bills.
This Bills game, I know the weather is gonna be probably a huge part in this, but for me it feels like the week before the Arizona game.
Right.
That like there's no hope.
Yeah.
Like that you're facing one of the better teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
But the Bills, they're kind of struggling right now. I mean, they have a good record. They have a very serious, football plan with Coach McDermott and
they got a quarterback with a busted foot.
Brandon Bean, Josh Allen is injured, and that happened. Same thing against the Cardinals. Kyler Murray was banged up. They played the backup quarterback, and it's a similar situation. I'm not saying that they're gonna win just like they did in Arizona. Hopefully they do, but yeah, there's some things just thinking about the future that they need to reevaluate, and it's fair to reevaluate maybe some of the parts of Coach Rhule process.
Right.
And but because I remember that before the start of the season we said that, you know, that Scott and Coach Rhule did a great job just building a competitive team, and we can agree that this roster, they're not a 5-8 team. They can play better than that.
Better. Yeah,
they can play better than that. I mean, you have more talent to be 5-8. So we're getting Coach Nixon first today, I guess, right?
I'm not sure. Yeah, well, I mean, usually Joe goes first, so yeah, I guess Nixon would be first.
We're a little bit early for practice today, you know. We should go have breakfast.
Wow, I ate.
Well, I don't.